you about various aspects of the opportunity. We'll tell you a little bit about how fantastically stable this company is, how wonderful our products are, and then I'll take you through how you can make money with the opportunity. I'm guessing that quite a few of you are on this evening because you'd like to find out how to make a bit of money with Forever. So I hope you're all safe in lockdown. There have been some benefits to lockdown as well as some negatives. I hope you're not all climbing the walls. A positive for me was that because I haven't had my hair cut for going on for 2 months now, I've always kept my hair fairly short, well, certainly for the last few years or so. And my wife a couple of weeks ago said, "Good Lord, I never knew you had so much hair." So there are some very positive things going on in lockdown as well as negative things. So what I'd like to do now is to introduce you to the first speaker for this evening. It's a lady who is very successful in Forever. She's built a fabulous global business, not just here in the UK. And she's not just a colleague, she's a great friend. So can I ask Claire to come on and take us through the first part of the presentation, please?
Brilliant, thank you, Adam, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to our presentation. It's my pleasure this evening to take you through a little bit of background to the company that we all work with, which is called Forever. But just to share with you perhaps a little bit of my background first, because I think it's always interesting to see, where people have come from and what's drawn them to Forever. My background was in TV. I was a producer and director at the BBC, and I absolutely loved my job for about 12 years. And then things changed, businesses changed and the BBC changed. And I specialised in fashion and interior makeover shows for BBC One and the World Service. And our budgets were continually being squeezed to make room for fantastic wildlife programmes and dramas. And while that was fine, what it meant was a lot longer working hours for me because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So it wouldn't be unusual for me to be on location from really early in the morning and then to be in edit suites, which is where you knit your programs together, till sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. And unfortunately that impacted on my health. I was diagnosed with a condition called ME, or chronic fatigue. And there seemed to be no way out of that cycle. I'd get better, go back to work, etc. But it was one of my mates from a program called The Clothes Show that introduced me to our signature product that you're going to hear a little bit more about. And this transformed my health over time. And it did take time. But I literally went from being unable to get out of bed or walk down a flight of stairs to within a fairly short period. So within 2 years, I was climbing Kilimanjaro. So I guess I am a product of the product. I'm certainly enthusiastic about the products that we work with, but more importantly, the opportunity has given me the ability to earn lots of streams of extra income from around the world, because this is a global opportunity. But I'll tell you a little bit more about that as the slides come through. And I think particularly at the moment, we are facing a lot of challenges, not just here in the UK, but around the world. And I think none more important than perhaps that one that is bottom right-hand side of screen, employment insecurities. These are most definitely unsure times, but I think a lot of people are concerned about the other 3 too. So I'm not sure which one perhaps is most important to you, but I'm sure one of those will be. And there are lots of different reasons why people look at this as an opportunity for them. We call it your why, if you like. And I certainly, when I first looked at this as a business, I felt like I was married to the BBC, which is not a good place to be. I felt like I had no work-life balance, if you like, outside of where I was working. And I think what a lot of people find today is they want more choices in life. Maybe you would like perhaps a bit more stability, certainly in today's uncertain kind of income earning times. Maybe it's that you would like to leave a legacy. If you have family, if you have young children. One of the beautiful things about this opportunity is it's something that you can will forwards. Maybe you've got kids that you want to send to school, at a better school perhaps than the opportunity is for you at the moment. or maybe you just want financial freedom. You know, there will be something on here that is key to you. You don't have to choose one. You can have all of them if you want. I know when I first looked at this opportunity, it was time for me. I felt like I needed time back in my life. And that's what Forever has given me over the years that I have worked alongside this amazing company. And yet one of the great things about Forever is that it is still family owned and family run, and has been for the last 40 years. The gentleman on the left hand side of the screen is Rex Moore. He's the founder of the company. And on the right, that's his son, Greg, who is really steering us from the front. But I met Greg on my very first Forever international trip. Again, you'll hear a bit more about those if you like travel. I met Rex the very first time I went on a Forever trip. And he knew who I was, and this was in my really early days in the business. And I was really touched by that, because I'd worked for the BBC for 12 years, and I knew that if I'd walked down the corridors of the BBC and bumped into the DG, he wouldn't have known who I was. So it's a very different feel. You do feel like you are part of a family as you grow and develop your business. And another real positive, I think, about the company is that it is cash rich and completely debt free. Now, there aren't too many companies today that can truly say that. And the picture you can see on our screen here is our beautiful head office over in Scottsdale in Arizona. And you know, this is where, so this is the head of our operations, if you like. And not only, I did mention or touched on the fact that Forever is a global company, and this really attracted me when I first looked at this, because we are in over 160 different countries around the world. And you might think, well, big deal, so what? But it is a big deal, because it means you can build a business in any or one of those countries. And I have an income from many different countries abroad, significantly the UK, South Africa and Australia. But you know, it's an open book. You can take this business wherever you want to, wherever you have contacts. And something else that, I mean, I love a property, but if you can see here, top left, that is our beautiful head office in Warwick. And bottom right, that is the head office in Scandinavia. Both of those buildings are stunning. And top right is Nigeria and bottom left is Colombia. So that just gives you an idea of the spread and the scale of our front end operations at the major cities in each of the countries that we are in. But it doesn't stop there. You know, we are, and I think in today's world, this is truly important. You know, we are a socially responsible company. We have over 50 million aloe vera plants. And 20 plants is the equivalent of 1 tree in terms of absorbing carbon. So this makes us as a company, we're not just carbon neutral, we are carbon negative. Or if you want to put that in a different way, and I really like this term, we are climate positive. And we're also people first. I think this was one of the big things for me when I first looked at this as a company. We do put people first in terms of the people we work with, but also in terms of the people that work for the company. So what you can see here is the people who help to pick freshly the aloe vera plants and leaves. We have people queuing up to work for Forever, because as workers, they are well looked after. And there is a policy within the company that for the workers, they are allowed to go for things. When they have children that want to go to college, they can get bursaries for that. They can get significant help, if you like, which is absolutely key. We like to support charities. At the moment, our current charity is called Rise for Hunger, and we have packed 5 million meals in the last 2 years for that charity. And we continue improving what we do. And again, this is key. You know, our manufacturing process is always up to date and always being reviewed. Our packaging the same. You know, our packaging is, again, socially and ethically responsible. And the speed of delivery that we get products out to our business owners to supply our customers, it is second to none, really. So anyway, sorry, I need to stop. I get very enthusiastic about this company, but what I'm going to do now is hand you over to someone who is not just a colleague. She's a really good friend. She's going to tell you about the products, and she knows a thing or two about horses. So over to you, Saranna.
Good evening, everybody. It gives me great pleasure to talk to you all this evening, and I hope you're okay in lockdown. I know it's a mixed bag. It depends where you are and where you're at, but hopefully you're finding that there are plenty of benefits to being in lockdown and not too many negatives. My background, very different to Claire and very different to Adam's. I worked in the horse racing industry for over 20 years. I still work in the industry part-time. I used to ride racehorses for a living, and I absolutely loved my job. However, pension, I didn't have a pension. I was going to be reliant upon state pension, and I was sort of worried about it. And not just that, I didn't have a great work-life balance, because although I loved my job, I worked all days. You know, I worked Monday to Saturday and sometimes Monday to Sunday. I've worked a very miserable Christmas day when my children were small, and I missed things, and I was finding that despite the fact that I loved my job, I didn't have a great work-life balance. So a mum at the school gates introduced me to the business, and I saw a way that I could build an income around my job, because I couldn't afford to leave my job just to dive straight into the business. So if you're looking at this at the moment and thinking that you wouldn't possibly be able to give up your job to start forever, please don't worry about that, because I didn't. And I continue to work part-time around my business. It's very, very flexible, but you just have to work it in the nooks and crannies. What has the business given me? Everything that Adam's going to talk to you about later on. And just to say that Adam, Claire and I and many others who are probably on the call tonight have had some great trips with Forever, and Forever's such a great company to be in. However, a company is only as good as its products. And we are the world's largest growers of aloe vera and largest manufacturers of aloe vera. All our aloe is naturally grown, and has been since 1978, which is when the company first started. I think, Adam, I think you've gone back a slide there, but never mind, I'm going to move on. We, with our plants, we actually take the hand-planted nurture plants, and we hand fillet each leaf and just take the inner leaf gel, because it's where the inner leaf gel is where all the goodness is, and then we take that and pulp it and put it into our products, and that gives us superior quality products. We also, in the last couple of years, I lose track of time, I think it was a couple of years ago, we went Tetra. So our original aloe bottle that you may or may not remember was a little plastic bottle, and our aloe content in that bottle was something like 97.4% aloe vera. We are now 99.9% aloe vera, so nothing added. It is almost pure aloe, and the Tetra stabilizes that beautifully. Also, what that means is that the other products like the tooth gel, the moisturizer and that kind of thing, the primary ingredients is this superior pulped aloe that's painted. We have a patented stabilization process, which just means that we produce our aloe in a way other people are not able to do. The ingredients, lots of safe and natural ingredients, but when I first looked at this business, one thing worried me slightly. I had never had a background in sales. I was very much an animal person, and I hadn't sort of worked in sales or had any experience, I suppose, of selling. And it was a bit of a nagging doubt, would I be able to make sales? But one thing that really encouraged me was having a 60-day money-back guarantee that's underpinned by the company. We actually have less than 0.5% of returns globally, and that includes breakages in transit. Once people have these products and start using them, they don't want to give them back. But it gave me the confidence to recommend the products to people I knew and say, look, if it's not for you, you've got a 60-day money-back guarantee, and that's extremely powerful. We are also halal, kosher and Islamic accredited, and we're members of the Aloe Science Council. The Leaping Bunny is something that's very close to my heart, because I'm a real animal person, and the fact that the products are not tested on animals but are suitable for animals was really, really beneficial to me, because I have quite an area of my sales is in the animal market. So you're now going to see the marketplace potential. and see some of the figures on the screen. And whilst we're incredibly proud of our turnover in the UK and the UK market, we're barely scratching the surface. And I've been in the company a few years now, and I have seen these areas of industry grow. The sports and nutrition industry was worth about 96 million when I first joined the company, and it's grown to 455, which is incredible. Skincare, I mean, who do you know that doesn't have skin? You know, everybody. So it's absolutely brilliant. Our skincare is very superior, and more of that in a moment. Weight management is a big area for us as well. But as I was saying, the animal market's massive for me. And actually the drinks, the vitamins and the supplements, the drinks alone account for half of our business. Now, Forever Living don't pay to advertise. You will not see our products advertised on the television or in magazines. However, there have been the products in magazines because they have been independently reviewed by experts and come out to be, you know, really winning awards in the top 10 with lots of different ones, even ones that I can't see on there. I know we're receiving awards. So that is actually, I think that's amazing because we're not paying for any advertising, but the products are still being recognized by the industry as being superior. So that's all I have to say. I'm going to hand you back to Adam May, who's going to talk you through the rest of the slides. Thank you, Adam.
Thanks, Saranna. And that was a great presentation, just telling us a little bit about the products. Before I go into the marketing plan and how you can make an income with Forever, I just want to tell you all a little bit about my background because it's very different from Claire's and very different from Saranna's. So when I left university in 1982, I actually went to work in a city. I was a broker in the City of London, and I did that successfully for 7 years. But after 7 years, I decided that I would run my own business with a couple of colleagues in financial services, which would have been great in the early 80s, but in the late 80s, it was a disaster because in 1990, we fell out of the exchange rate mechanism, the European exchange rate mechanism, and we had a major crash. And my business went bust and I lost everything. And I mean, literally everything. So I had to go back and work for someone else, which I hated. But all the time I had this feeling, this spark of being an entrepreneur inside of me that I wanted to do something for myself. So a friend invited me to go along to a meeting. It was nothing like this because of course back then there was no World Wide Web, there was no internet, there was nothing like that. In fact, the first presentation I saw was using big canvas sheets that had things written on it. That's how far back it was. This was back in August 1993. I saw the presentation and the one thing I saw and the one thing I took away was that with this business, I could multiply my time. Because in a job, or even if you're self-employed, no matter how hard you work, you're only paid on the amount of hours that you do. But this business showed me there was a way that not only could I be paid on my own time, but if I successfully helped other people in this business, I would be paid on the results that they got as well. So I got involved back in August 1993. I was working it in what I called the nooks and crannies of my life. In work, I would try and make some phone calls at coffee break time, or at lunchtime, I'd make phone calls, or I'd try and go out and speak to someone about the opportunity. Straight after work, I was meeting people to show them the opportunity or the products. Most evenings, I was doing something. On the weekends, I'd be doing something. And what it meant was that by July 1995, I was able to quit my job and go full-time in Forever. And since then, this is all I've done. So if anyone is watching this for the first time, wondering whether you can build a successful career with Forever, the answer is most definitely yes. And I've benefited hugely from being involved, which I'll tell you a little bit more about along the way. Oh, I just stopped my video by accident. How silly is that? So, just need to let this slide unwind. So what is the success that Forever is based on? Well, the first thing is that we don't advertise. As Saranna's just told you, we use word of mouth advertising, and we supply the products directly to the consumer. And with $2 billion worth in sales, pounds worth in sales around the world, that means we're making a sale every 4 minutes. And, you know, so many people today want their own business. I mean, we also show people the potential of the opportunity, much as we're doing this evening. And side businesses, believe it or not, add 72 billion to the UK economy. There's some astonishing statistics I came across the other day. 64% of people who are in work today want their own business. 83% of people between the ages of 18 and 24 want their own business. And we believe we have a fantastic low-cost solution to a traditional business. You know, traditionally a business, you'd have premises, you might have a shop or an office, or you might have employees, all that kind of thing. We don't have any of those expenses. And that's why we believe this is a great opportunity for anyone who's looking for one. So what are the benefits of being involved? Well, first of all, the income is uncapped. So literally, you can you can earn as much as you want. You'll never be told that's as much as you can earn. And that's important because I have been in sales in the city when I was a broker. You know, we were set targets. And very often if you hit your target too early in the year, you'd have your target revised. They'd say, well, that was too easy. We're going to raise it again. You've got to go for this new target. And I know that's happened to so many people in sales around the world. And that doesn't happen with us. The more you grow your business, the bigger your income gets. It's also willable, which means you can pass this business on to your kids if you've got kids or whoever you want. Also, although we have a system that really helps you to achieve the goals, it's up to you to decide what you want within our system, within our, what we call our marketing plan or our compensation plan. It's very flexible. So for instance, we're doing this meeting at 8:30 at night. Even if you were back in work, you could be looking at this. You could be having people that you know perhaps or prospects for the business looking at this meeting at 8:30 at night. So it's very important to understand that it's flexible. You can build it around a job or kids or education or anything else that's going on in your life. You get full training and support using our simple, proven global business building system. And one of the things that you need to understand is that we can't become successful unless we help you to become successful. It really is an opportunity where we are all encouraged and helped to build success together. So getting started is important, and what it means is that you can get your starter pack, which only costs $199.75. And I say only because I don't know if any of you have ever looked at franchising, but if you wanted to get, let's say, a fast food franchise, it'd be really difficult to get one for less than a few £100,000, which puts it out of the reach of the average person. But with us, you can get it for $199.75. It immediately puts you on a profit margin of 35% with the products, but it also allows you to start building your team. It gives you your international business building license to trade in over 160 countries. You get access to our business blueprint, which is, if you like, the same as a franchise blueprint. There is your own web store. You get your own personal business coach and mentor. These are the people that will work with you, that will help you to become successful. You get access to online and printed support materials, and you'll become part of an incredibly supportive community. So what's the business potential? Well, the first real stage, I guess, is, and a lot of people join just as a side hustle because they want to make an extra few £100s a month. And you might want to do that. You might want to start as a product promoter. You might even want to stay as a product promoter. We are grateful that anyone wants to build a business with forever at whatever stage it is. And we're there to help you at whatever stage you choose. And a product promoter would develop around 20 regular customers. That would give you an income somewhere between £200 to £400 a month. So can I just ask, Saranna's back there, can I just ask her to come on and just explain where she got her customers from when she first started looking at the business, when she first joined the business and started to developing her retail customer base. Saranna, are you there?
I am. Yes. When I first started the business, as I said earlier, I was still working. I was working in a racing yard and riding out every day. And people who are working physically for a living, and riding racehorses is incredibly physical. It's a bit like being a full-time athlete. And also, I don't know if any of you on here this evening ride horses, but if you ride racehorses for a living, you're going to have some falls, and what happens is your body gets tired, physically tired, and you need, well, you don't need, but these products were so beneficial to me, my immediate family and my immediate friends and my colleagues, and I became just more and more excited about the results that we were having as a family instantly, and then others. So it made it very easy for me to share the products, and I would take a sample pack of products to work and people could try them, and same thing, they fell in love with them. And then that just gave me confidence. My confidence grew from there with people I knew immediately using the products and having good results, that I just widened my circle, and I kept widening my circle. And then I did some little retail events, and I was very careful at the beginning. I had a budget. I wouldn't, so if there was a retail event or people wanted, say, £100 for a tabletop, I would ask what's the footfall, how many people are you going to have coming through, and I was quite tight, frankly, because that meant that I didn't spend too much in the beginning, but again, my retail customers grew from there, some locally, some a bit further afield. So I now have customers, because I come from Cornwall to Scotland, some I post to, some forever post to directly, and I've got customers that are still with me, that have been with me all the years. I've been in the business just about 10 years now, and I've still got customers. So the great thing, of course, with these products is that they are consumable, so they get used, so you have repeat business, which is really, really beneficial. Adam, thank you.
That's great. Thank you so much, Saranna. So the next stage would be, you might want to become a business leader or a team leader. And this would involve you finding 5 key people and starting to multiply your time. And a typical business leader would earn somewhere between £600 and £2,000 a month. And what that actually means is that you are multiplying your time. If you think about having 30 team members, each of them with 20 customers, then you would have 600 customers being supplied by you and the people in your team. And that would give you that income of 600 to 2,000 a month, because you get paid a tiny percentage on the sales that the people in your team make. This is what I saw when I first looked at the opportunity. I got excited about the fact that I could be multiplying my time. And also I immediately started thinking globally, and I thought, well, gosh, I could be earning money while I'm sleeping. And that's exactly what happened. That's what Claire was telling you at the beginning. She said she has a business here, but also primarily in South Africa and Australia. So, you know, when we're sleeping, her team is working in Australia and she's earning a small percentage on everything that her team in Australia does. That's the beauty of this business. So where do you find your 5 key people? Perhaps I can ask Claire to come back on and explain where she looked for people when she first joined the business. Claire, are you there?
I most certainly am. Yeah, I mean, this is a big part of our business, isn't it? It's about working alongside people you want to work alongside. And when I first looked at Forever as a business, I was a tired, stressed out TV producer, and I had no real extra time, if you like. So the first people I started talking to were colleagues, actually, and colleagues like me who were worried about the future, because you can only work at ridiculous hours for a short amount of time in your life. So yeah, I was talking to people that I knew who perhaps were like me, and were looking for something perhaps a bit different outside of what they were already doing. So the first 2 people I worked alongside were colleagues from the BBC, a friend who was a sound engineer and a colleague who was also a producer. But I mean, I wasn't the best fit person at that time. So if that wasn't my arena, I've kind of changed the way I look at that now. But I certainly chatted to friends and family. And in fact, my sister-in-law was one of my first team members, because I knew she really enjoyed people. She was a real people person, and Forever ticked boxes for her and enabled her to fund school fees for her son, my nephew. Another one of my key people, again, it says everyone you know. Well, one of my key people, one of the first 5 people, was someone that I knew from where I grew up, which was in Herefordshire. And he was a tennis coach and his wife was a teacher. So it really suited their needs. And Adam's mentioned my business in South Africa. One of the first 5 people, I think they were, in fact, the The fifth person or couple that I introduced to my business were friends that one was British, one was South African, and actually it's through them that led me to grow and develop a great business in South Africa. So, you know, it is true, when you first look at this business, who do you know that you think would enjoy what we do, enjoys a good quality of life, enjoys health, fitness, but most importantly an opportunity to feel secure, I think, for your future. So there are people out there everywhere, but my advice would be to start talking to people that you know first.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Claire. Yeah, so it's I hope you're beginning to see how this can grow and how you can find the people to help you grow your business. And then you can take it even further than that. You can become what we call a business developer, and a business developer coaches their business leaders or team leaders to develop their own independent businesses. And a typical business developer would earn somewhere between £2,000 and £20,000 a month. And all we're really doing is multiplying our time even further, because if you find your 5 who find 5 and so on, you'd end up with 780 team members. If they had 20 customers each, that's 15,600 customers. Just imagine if you were earning £1 a month on each of those 15,600 customers. How great would it feel to have an income like that? An income that's basically bulletproof, bomb-proof, virus-proof. Now, if that wasn't enough, we also have various incentives. This is Chairman's Bonus. It's effectively our global profit share scheme. Anyone can qualify for this, by the way. What the company does is it puts a percentage, not of our profit, but of our sales into a pool every year. And then the qualifiers will be able to access a percentage of that. And it goes, checks range normally from a few £1,000s, maybe $3,000 or $4,000, right the way up to over $1 million US. And the way you get a bigger check, by the way, is by helping people in your team to also get a check. So the more people you help, the bigger your check gets. And that's exactly the same through the marketing plan, everything that I've just been talking about. It's all done on helping other people. We also have a couple of fantastic global trips. So we have what we call our Global Rally and our Eagle Manager Retreat. And you can just see scrolling across the bottom of the screen some of the places that we visited. In fact, Sydney, we haven't, because we were supposed to have been there last week for our global rally. But of course, with the coronavirus, it wasn't on, but it's been postponed. They're going to be doing it this time next year in Sydney. But what it means is the company will fly you there. They put you up in 5-star hotels. They wine you, dine you, party you, and they give you between $500 and $3,000 spending money. And just to give you an idea, I mean, I've seen the world paid for by forever. I've been as far north as Alaska and as far south as the South Island of New Zealand, all paid for by forever with spending money. I mean, it really is a phenomenal company. And also, I should say, there isn't a limit to the number of people that can be taken on these trips. If you do the qualification, you also can be attending these rallies with us. And we also have what we call our company car plan, which is called Forever to Drive. And here, again, anyone can qualify, and there's unlimited number of spaces if you do the qualification. And what it means is the company will pay you up to an additional £6,300 a year. They just do it on a monthly basis. They add it to your bonus check every month, or your bonus payment every month. You don't have to spend it on a car, by the way. I know lots of people who put it towards their mortgage or their rent or paying the school fees or however you want to spend it. And one of the things I loved when I joined the company was how much of a family feel there was to it. You know, Claire was saying right at the beginning that she first met Rex and Greg 20 odd years ago. And it was exactly the same for me. I remember meeting this guy on the screen, Rex, who's our founder and our president. And he was basically just such a lovely guy. And what I also loved about the company was the mission statement. We can create a profitable environment where individuals can, with dignity, be what they want to be, where integrity, empathy, and fun are our guides. And that just really speaks to me for what this company's about. I have to say, I've made so many great friends throughout the years with Forever. We've had so much fun. We've partied all over the world. And if you like people and if you like helping people, this could be a great business for you. So if you are watching this for the first time, I would urge you to get your questions answered by the person that's invited you, that sent you the link to this. I'm pretty sure you will have some questions. We can't possibly have covered everything this evening, but I really hope that you do get those questions answered and that you come and join us. We have a fantastic opportunity, and we would love to help more people become successful the same way we ourselves were helped to become successful by the people that came before us. So, good evening, everyone. I just hope you've enjoyed the presentation, and I'd like to wish you a great night, a great rest of your night. Stay safe, and I look forward to meeting many of you very soon. Take care.
Thank you.